Later on, 1 hour from now, we're going to talk to Steve Roberts about Donald Trump. I mean, look, there's many things that Donald Trump is being criticized for.
We have Aaron.
All right, we'll hold on that for a second. Let's go to Aaron Katersky, who's covering this Bill Cosby story, one crazy story after another. Good morning, Aaron Katersky.
McGraw, good morning. Bill Cosby sat for a deposition in 2005 as part of a lawsuit that was brought by a woman who said she was drugged by Cosby and then essentially raped by him. That lawsuit settled, and no one ever thought they'd hear anything about it again until recently. An excerpt of the deposition was included in a recently released court document. Now the full deposition is out, and it reveals a character who admits that he was seeking out young women with whom to have sex, drugging them with Quaaludes, and hiding all of this activity from his unsuspecting wife.
Let's get to how this was released in the first place, because supposedly it was a sealed agreement. How did the deposition get out?
The deposition, the deposition itself was never sealed. Depositions aren't generally part of the public record, and when so it wasn't specifically sealed, and it was available from the transcription service that ended up taking the stenography during the deposition. Nobody ever thought to specifically seal the deposition because it wasn't. Depositions are never part of the public record, so it's a I don't know. It got out.
Yeah. It's a loophole in a sense, but that's even more interesting than what was said in a sense. Now, it's a Bill Cosby that we have never heard before. He's defiant, almost flippant in his answers.
But you've started to hear that this is the side of Bill Cosby that women who encountered him came to know. Somebody who was predatory, somebody who was, as you say, flippant when it comes to how seriously he took the allegations. When an attorney complained during the deposition that he was not taking this seriously, he said maybe not, and who didn't really seem to understand the gravity of the allegations against him, or if he didn't seem to care.
It's the part where, I mean, it's just jaw-dropping. There's no other word to describe it. When the girl goes home to the mother and he's arguing with the mother about how he didn't do anything terrible, and he's imploring the girl, tell your mother about your orgasms. That's unbelievable.
It's really kind of sick stuff, and it's something that you don't. I mean, this isn't Dr. Huxtable, is it? I mean, this is not to be flip about it,
right?
But, it is definitely a side of Bill Cosby that no one has seen, and that he actively worked to conceal with money, with coercion, and by his own admission, he would try to pay off women. He would try to convince them by going to their mothers, in some cases, as you point out, to keep all of this activity not only from his public persona, but also from his wife, who didn't know, he said, about the Quaaludes or about the women or any of it.
And he takes no ownership of it whatsoever, does he? It shows no remorse.
It's hard to get inside his head, but from what he said, he doesn't seem to think that what he was doing was wrong. If it was a woman who was seeking his counsel for career advice, then he seemed to think it was perfectly within his bounds to then ask for some kind of sex act in return, and he would arrange, according to the document, private, intimate dinners, and then take a woman onto a porch away from the chef, and try to convince her to perform some kind of sex act. I mean, it's pretty predatory stuff, and something that apparently went on for decades.
Yeah. Aaron, explain the timeline. A couple weeks ago, there were excerpts of a deposition. Is this same deposition that now the full transcripts have been out there now?
That's right. The excerpts of the deposition were included in a document that a judge, after 10 years, unsealed at the request of the Associated Press. And that document included an operative part about Quaaludes and how Bill Cosby would purchase Quaaludes for the purpose of giving them to young women with whom he wanted to have sex. this is the fuller version of the deposition, and Cosby had long said that it would exonerate him, that it would show that the everything that happened was consensual, but his definition of consensual and what some of the women who are now coming out against him are saying seem to be two different things.
Yeah, almost delusional, Bill Cosby sounding. What has his camp said anything? Are they planning on saying anything to respond to this?
Not that we know of. They've declined comment, and we've reached out on numerous occasions. Bill Cosby broadly still denies the allegations that are against him, but has kind of hunkered down and is declining to go into detail about what he said at this deposition. And still, we should point out that the deposition is it's not in court, but it's still something taken under oath, and so it's believed to be his word, and that was part of what the argument has been to release all these documents over the years. It's his version of events, so why wouldn't he want it out there?
Aaron Katersky, ABC News Radio. Aaron, thanks for checking in.
Thanks, McGraw.
6:30 here, Big 550 KTRS. I mean, it's a defiant Bill Cosby. It's not even a defiant. The word. It's just flippant when they're like, this isn't a joke.